This is Bang Bang Roy Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. And I was over Birmingham the other day with a few of my pals, and we was talking to some people over Jamaica Road, and they was talking about Peter Kelly, my pal, Big Peter, big man, mate. All he ever got done for was armed robberies. Good armed robber, mate. He was good armed robber. And it doesn't mean to say because you get nicked you're not a good armed robber. It means you got nicked to the wrong one, yeah. But anyway, he was telling me. I remember Peter telling me the story about when he was in Wandsworth. He hated all the screws. He hated them. He hated them so much. And he's like a big man. And Wandsworth prison is a prison that you don't muck about with. You know, when you first got in them days, I'm on about the 70s. In them days, you didn't muck about because they was right heavy MPs, all militia police, and they wanted to hurt you. Yeah, yeah. Running there, a screw in there called Taffy Ryan, hard screw. This caused plenty of problems. Anyway, he was telling me, Peter, that in the mornings as you come out of your cell and throw piss all over the screws and poo as well, yeah? Throw poo and piss all over the screws every morning, and they just had enough. They just take him in the cell, try and give him a good idea, and Peter would stand up and have a fight, yeah? So in the death, they thought, well, that's it. And one morning they went in there and they bashed Peter up so bad, they dragged him down the stairs by the banisters and punched all around his groin, smashed him into pieces, chucked him in the cell downstairs in the block. And the block in Wandsworth, it's got this long staircase here. There must be people here that have been down the block in Wandsworth, and when you get chucked down these stairs, you've got about 12 stairs, and it's like a 45 degrees angle, you know what I mean? I swear my life, it's straight down. And they chucked many people down there, broke their legs and everything, arms a lot. And put Peter in the unit, in the seg unit, and he'd come out in the mornings, same thing, wee, poo, every morning, wee, poo. And so much so, he's got battered, you know, and they couldn't take no more of it. So the number one chief, the one that runs the Nick, listen, in Wandsworth, mate, Wandsworth was the hardest prison in England, without a shadow of a doubt, I think Winchester and Wandsworth and Liverpool maybe, but Wandsworth was the one, yeah? Everybody hated going to Wandsworth. Anyway, the chief went in his cell and said, listen here, Kelly, let me tell you something, right? I don't no more throwing stuff over my officers, because if you do, the easiest thing for me to do is to get the doctor, who's a very good friend of mine, to write a death certificate out. Do you understand me? And that means, Peter Kelly, you know what it means? Don't do it anymore, yeah? So Peter then, I mean, he said, right, my arse I went, mate. He said, because I knew that they wouldn't have killed me, you know what I mean? Anyway, 2 days later, they shipped him to Albany. And anyway, so then we was talking about the Ariffs, yeah? Duke, Duggan, there's loads of them. Dennis, Duke, Duggan, Dennis, Ariff, there's loads, I forget, there's so many of them. And they had a pub in Birmingham called the Sugarloaf, yeah? And we used to go down to Sugarloaf, big pub. I think it was run by Dookie, I'm not quite sure, or Duggan. And anyway, nice pub. But I met them, both of them, Dennis and Duke, in Albany, Isle of Wight, and good footballers, mate. They used to be like kids with their football, yeah? I swear to God, they used to cry at each other and shout and scream. Sport, they love sports, they love cricket, any sports they love. I mean, one of the best cricketers I've ever seen when I was in Albany, there's a guy called Laurie Mann. Anybody know Laurie Mann with a bad leg? Yeah, well, Laurie, mate, he was good cricketer, mate. He was the business, I'm telling you. I bet Dennis and Duke, they was like going mad. When they were playing football, if they didn't win, mate, there was murders. And anyway, when I see him in Maidstone, same thing. That was crazy, mate. If they didn't win a match playing football, they'd go mad. Dennis was the worst one. Dennis, I like Dennis. Good workers, mate. They had some proper work, their little firm. They had some proper work. Dennis, Dookie, and all that lot had some proper work. There was a guy that was involved with one of them. I'm not quite sure. His name was Ben Najumi. I met Ben Najumi in the 70s at Wandsworth, and they got done for a big arms deal, £26 million arms deal going to Iraq or Iran. Ben Najumi was the chief prosecution. He knew everything about torture and all this. I met Ben. When I met Ben was in on the ones. He run the ones. He made the screws tea, coffees, milk. He gave them everything, yeah. And so he'd also look after me, give me what I wanted, because I was down there. I was on the ones as well, cleaner, but he liked me because I was a big lump, and I was to make sure that he was all very, very safe. Anything that happened to Ben, I was always around him because I was fighting all the time. I'm big lump. I could have a fight, and Ben loved all that, yeah. And anyway, Ben, to keep Ben in prison, they concocted a story about that he raped someone, yeah. And the story was that he raped two of my mate's sister. And it's only when I got out that I talked to my mate's sister and the two to say that they fitted Ben up with the rape, and he got 7 years. And it gave them enough time to get the case together over the arms deal. And they give Ben, I think it was 22 years or 20 years, something like that, something stupid. And they had £25 million put in a bank of Coots & Co, and no one's ever touched that money. The money could never be touched because nothing was happened. They caught the boat before it went over certain parts of the water for what happens to free water space, and they caught it and opened all the containers, and in the containers was just parts of cars, and that's why they got nicked. Ben got he didn't grass no one up. He just kept it all quiet, and he owned half the Dorchester. He's not owned it, but he rented half the Dorchester for all these people. He was very, very posh. His wife was a lady. She had all the crown and bits and pieces in the rack in the van, and he was a good man. I liked Ben. And when I came out of prison, he was living with a guy called Arthur Sutty in Epsom. Arthur Sutty, gangster. Arthur Sutty, gangster. He was with all that Billy Hill, all that lot, years ago. Gangster, proper gangster. Anybody know him? Arthur Sutty used to deal with lots of fool's money and things like that. I think he got quite a bit of bird for that sort of thing, yeah. But he lived in a place called Lark Hall, yeah, right next to Epsom Downs races and by Epsom Golf Course, yeah. Massive, great place. Three swimming pools in there, and Ben, by chance met Arthur Sutty and married Arthur Sutty's daughter. Very clever what Ben did, and Ben was left the whole property, yeah. But Ben, I like Ben. Someone told me that Ben nearly got killed, and and I think he lost a lot of his memory. And I mean, come on, and then he got back to normal, and my name was brought up, and other people's names were brought up. But he was a nice fella, Ben. I like Ben. Anybody that hurt Ben, I was always 100% behind him. But he did nick a lot of money off my mate to get all his teeth done and all this, that and the other, yeah. I think he nicked 32 grand of my pal as partners in another company, but that's beside the point, yeah. Anyway, and then all the names. Then there was my mate Billy Ed at the pub there. What's it? I forget. What's the name of the pub there? Not the Sugarloaf. I forget. Lily Pub, the Lil in Jamaica Road, the Lil Pub, the Lily Pub, and belonged to Billy Ed. And I used to go there with Peter Kelly, and Billy Ed said, "Oh, hello, right again." Me and him used to spar together, and it's nice, isn't it? After such a long time. I used to spar with Bill down Haverstock Hill, Noble Art, and him, Joe Bugner when he was fighting for Clay. I mean, come on, that's going some, innit? Even though Bugner hurt me and really hurt me, I was still getting the ring with Joe Bugner, and it made me proud, yeah? It made me proud of getting with a fighter that was fighting for the title of the world, Even though I got hurt, I still got in the ring with him, yeah? And I still, not hold my own, I can't say hold my own, but he never knocked me down. He just punched me away. I mean, a good banger. I mean, I hit him a few. Of course, come on. I'm an ex-amateur. Amateurs fight for 3 rounds. They go like a lunatic for 3 rounds. Professionals, they hold it back because they fight for 15 rounds. 12 to 15 rounds. In them days, 12, 15 rounds, yeah. But I like Bugner. very hard to understand, very big, very, very fit. I was very, very big, and I was very, very fit. But John L. Gardner, John L. Gardner is one of the fittest fighters I know. Very fit, John. He has sponsorship like it's coming out his backside. Everybody wanted to be around John L. Gardner because they knew that he was going to be someone. I always thought that I was going to be someone, but I lived in West London, Acton. John L. Gardner lived in the right place where he could get to the gym all the time, and he could edit all in sponsorship. That's the most important part of boxing as an amateur, is to have sponsors. And good fighter, mate. Good fighter. I don't think he ever got beat. I'm not quite sure. I remember me fighting a geezer called Howard James, when I was at London Transport. I think it was London Transport, I'm not quite sure. And this geezer Howard James, he was a good fighter, Howard James. He was, George Foreman's sparring partner in America. He was a pro. Come over to this country, changed his name to Howard James, and turned pro in this country. So he turned amateur, in this country. So he was a pro in America, Howard James, I fought George Foreman. He was George Foreman's sparring partner. And everybody he fought, he knocked out. Everybody he fought, he knocked out, And then he boxed me. And then the second round he stopped me with a cut eye. But he had I forget his name, his trainer in the corner. And his trainer in the corner said he had the best left hook, a peeky-poo left hook like Floyd Patterson, Honestly. Freddie Mac, the trainer, he said he's never seen a left hook like my left hook. He said it was unbelievable. He said, you hit Howard on the chin. He said, and he come back to us and said he's never been hit so hard, And I was so happy, you know what I mean, when he said I've never been hit so hard, It just made me feel good because a good fighter, And then later on in my life, I sort of loved my boxing, but I went into gangsterism and villainy, and that's what ruined my life. I was going to be a good fighter, I was going to go a long, long way. It's like everybody else. We all think we're going to be the best, and we all want the best. And I never had no sponsors, and so I went to doing armed robberies, and I ruined my life, and got put in prison. But I come out of prison, and when it got into the street fighting, into illegal fights, and when I came out of prison, before I went down to see Billy Blundell. I mean, I used to fight with Billy Blundell all the time in what you call it, in Mason prison. Bill Blundell, mate, is a good fighter. I like Bill. I respect him as a man. I respect him as a man, talking to him, walking around the yard. He was always with my mate Ricky Curly. They was always walking around and talking, and so I was involved because Ricky Curly was my mate as well as Billy Blundell's. And Billy Blundell, I like him a lot. He told me all about the Essex boys, what they was, what they wasn't, and what is going to happen to them, and this, that, and the other. And in a way, it did. They got a bit bully tactics, and come on, people don't like really real bullies. Even though people are enforcers and all that, they're not bullies. They're getting money from people that owe it. It's not about bullying. Bullying is about when you bash people up for no apparent reason, no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? That's bullying. I'm not into that scene. Just going along bashing people, and that's what they was doing. The Essex boys, they was just bashing people up for nothing. For nothing. Demanding money with menaces, smashing them to pieces, because people couldn't hold their hands up. And Bill was saying to me that these people ain't got no chance. Ray, me and Eddie, and the little company that got round me, they ain't worth tuppence. They're babies compared with us. We're men. We're big, big men, and they ain't got a chance. And they were taking the piss. These Essex boys were taking the piss. I'm not talking behind the back because they're dead. I'm talking to you because Billy Blundell was telling me. I don't even know the Essex boys. I didn't know them. Even though I was always around that area, I never see the Essex boys. I never even heard of the Essex boys. And I was with a big, big company, and I never heard of them because maybe they didn't not fear us. We didn't fear them. They didn't fear us. So in a way, they kept away from us. We kept away from them. It was one of them things, you know. But Bill, I mean, it was on Bill's territory, and Billy Blundell started well before they started. So therefore, Bill didn't want any of that at all. Didn't want them bully taxes at all. And I remember I was with some people, my mate Gary, I won't say second at the moment, Gary, and we done something for someone, and they owed these people, Bill, some money. We went to collect it, and the people got a bit leery. My mate Gary opened one up like a sardine can, ripped it to pieces. The other guy hit me across the head with a lump of iron, knocked me spark out. This guy. When he hit across the head with a lump of iron, knocked me spark out. Gary saved my bacon. Gary stabbed this guy about 4 or 5 times, you know, so Gary saved my life. But when I got up, my head was smashed. He smashed my head. He gave me big problems with concussion. I kept getting blackouts all the time. I think he hit me with a crowbar or a lump of that, what's the name, stuff that's reinforcing rods. You know, right across the head, mate. He knocked me sparko. You know what I mean? And it really done me in, mate. And I lost a lot of my memory that time. My memory come back, but I lost a lot of my memory. I mean, the guy really, Gary stabbed one bad, cut him, sliced him open it, and the other one hit because of that bar, the reinforcing rod, straight away. I was on the floor in seconds. Whack, you know, and Gary stabbed him 4 or 5 times, and the guy, they just on the floor, and Gary steamed into them, stabbed him a bit more, and we got the money that we had to get, yeah. But Gary got on the phone to these people, and they come down and picked me up, and they had to take me to hospital, and I was in a bad way, mate. I was in a bad way. I thought, and Gary said to me later on in my life that he thought I was going to die. I was done all sorts of tubes, all sorts of drips, everything, you know. But it's like everything, isn't it? That you know, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. If these people don't know you are and they ain't got no respect for you, they will use what they want to use to prevent you hurting them, you know. And they did, you know. But Gary sorted them out. He plunged them lots of times. Really plunged them bad, you know. Whether or not he killed them, I don't know. I shouldn't think he did, but you know, you don't know. But they tried to kill me, mate. That one tried to kill me with that bar, that reinforcing bar, yeah. And I was in a bad way. I mean, you know, bad. I mean, I'm fucking on about deathbed. And all tubes coming out of me, oxygen going through me, blood. I think I was in 5, 6 months. At one time, they was going to turn the machine off, I think. Anyway, I've got more stories later on. My phone keeps going, my other phone. I've got phone calls to pick up and talk to people. So this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please like and subscribe. And thank you very much for listening to my podcast. And thanks very much for all the subscribers. And carry on and have a nice day. Yeah, bye-bye.